Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to get epic results from your Facebook ads by using super broad targeting. Now, using really broad targeting is very much on the cutting edge of Facebook advertising. It's not something you're able to do successfully even a couple of years ago, but as Facebook has evolved and improved as an advertising platform, as their machine learning process has gotten better and better, it's something that we're experimenting with, something we're starting to see better and better results with. So in this video, I'm going to explain how you go about using broad targeting. I'll also talk about when you should and when you shouldn't use it, because in our experimentation, we found there are definitely times when you shouldn't use it. You can be caught out here, so you want to be very careful. And I'm going to show exactly how to do that in this video. Now, before I get into the steps, just want to quickly ask for you to smash a like on this video. That really helps me out. Click that like button, and of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new for more Facebook advertising related content. Right, with that out of the way, now that you've done that, let's get into the steps. So I'm inside an example Facebook ad account, and like I do with a lot of my videos, I'm going to go ahead and create an example Facebook ad campaign because I think that's probably one of the best ways to show you how this sort of stuff works. Let's just call this example campaign. I'm going to change campaign objective from traffic to conversions because I can't run a traffic campaign. I never do. They're rubbish most of the time, as you will know if you follow my content. I've got videos on that, by the way, in case you want to see those claims backed up. I've got data and all sorts in other videos, so check those out. And I'm going to write example super broad targeting ad set. And then we're going to skip the ad, save to draft. By the way, I'm not going to go through all the detail at all this stuff like campaign objectives. I've got videos on it all. So just search for my name, Ben Heath, whatever it is you're looking for in terms of whether it's conversion events, attribution windows, placement options, targeting options, whatever it is, pop them in there and a video will pop up. Right, what I want to do is I've come into the ad set level here. Now, there's a few different types of broad targeting that I want to discuss. So let's say, for example, that I sell either like a digital product, like a course, or perhaps I'm an e-commerce business and I can ship internationally. And let's say I'm advertising to something like the UK, the US, Canada, and let's say Australia. That didn't work. Australia, which I'm struggling to type apparently. Okay, so that's what we've got in here. Target audience size in this is 320 million before we get started. Let's say that what I'm advertising, we can leave age open, we can leave gender open for argument's sake. And let's come in and let's add in some sort of interest. But let's say it's a super broad interest like cars, okay? Let's say we add in people who are interested in cars. Right, so you can see the potential reach, by the way, just quickly, is still 320 million. That's because we have detailed targeting expansion turned on. If I go ahead and turn that off, that drops to 29 million. Now, 29 million is already an enormous audience, much bigger than most people would recommend. And to be honest, bigger than I would usually recommend. And I've created a video recently about Facebook ads audience size, and I'll include a link to that because some of what I'm going to share in this video might contradict some of the stuff I share in that video. But I want you to be aware that this is something that's quite experimental, that you can absolutely test in certain circumstances that I'm going to get to in a minute and can work really well, but doing things this way should not be your default. Just want to make that clear. But by all means, test it because it can produce fantastic results. So let's say we're advertising to cars. So this is an example right here, right now, of a broad targeting. We've got almost 30 million people in our audience, okay? By anyone's measure, that's a large audience to target. That's broad targeting. We have got detailed targeting in here, but it's something that like cars, that's very broad. I mean, you could have like people interested in soccer or people interested in health and fitness. Again, these are huge categories that contain tens of millions of people. So this is what I would classify one example of broad targeting. Another example would be to use a 10% lookalike. So a 10% lookalike would have come out about the same size because we had 320 million in the overall population in these areas in terms of the Facebook user population. 10% of those people is going to come out at 32 million. So if we went up here and popped in a 10% lookalike audience, that would be another example of a super broad targeting option to use if we're advertising to many countries, particularly ones with large populations. 10% lookalike audience is not super broad if you're advertising locally. Just want to make that clear. If you're not familiar with lookalike audiences, how they work, how they create them, how you need to adjust things for local businesses, check out a video. I'll include a link to it in the description of this video that shows you exactly how to set up lookalikes, all that sort of stuff. You'll probably find that very, very helpful. Now, there's another type of this I would include in broad targeting. There's another type of broad targeting that goes beyond, and that is to get rid of that. Now, I should be clear. I don't know why we zoomed in on Sri Lanka. Let's zoom that back out. I should be clear. I would not, we have not run a ad set to 320 million people. We have not done that. But we have used the super broad targeting options of no age parameters, no gender parameters in some individual countries. So let's say, for example, I get rid of some of these. I just wanted to run a campaign in the UK. Now, we've done this a number of times where we are advertising to, if I manage to highlight it properly, 45 million people, which is roughly the number of Facebook and Instagram users in the UK. Now, again, that seems like an enormous audience to target. Why would you do that? Surely Facebook needs more specificity, etc., etc. And there are times when it doesn't. So this is what, in my mind, super broad targeting is. We have this sort of lingo in our own company, obviously, to make things easier communicating between me and account managers and things like that, where broad targeting will be a very open interest like cars. Super broad targeting is just open targeting. Okay, so when will we do this and when do we see good results? Because we've tested this now, must have been a dozen times, and some of the times it's been fantastic and some of the times it's just done nothing at all. If you're a local business, we're going to use this super broad targeting as one of our testing options almost always, particularly if you're advertising in an area with a low population density, not like a mega city, okay? Super broad targeting is often the way to go. But I've discovered that in other businesses where I talk about targeting for local businesses on Facebook and all that sort of stuff. This video is about national, international businesses using super broad targeting, things like just this. When can this work? Why does this work very well for certain businesses? Because Facebook has gotten so good at working out who within your target audience is most likely to take the action you want them to take, you can give Facebook so much more leeway now in terms of who to target for them to be able to work out, okay, this sort of person is perfect, this sort of person is perfect, etc., etc. When you give Facebook really specific audiences, you're basically constraining them to only advertise to those people. Now, Facebook may be able to optimize around that and produce a good result still, but if you can give them everyone to advertise to, Facebook can sometimes deliver incredible results, much better than any other targeting option, because, as I said, they have all this data. They have so many data points on their users and to work out who's most likely to take an action, that this can work really well. Okay, so what are the scenarios in which I would test this in the first place, and when would I not? I would not do this with a brand new ad account. Okay, that's the first thing. You need to have a lot of conversion data within your Facebook ad account for Facebook to fully understand what a conversion is, who is most likely to convert, and have a lot of data that they can then use in order to go out to an entire country, for example, or maybe even multiple countries, and find the people that are most likely to convert within that population. Okay, so we wouldn't do it with a brand new ad account, only ad accounts that have got a lot of conversion data. Oh, and it goes without saying, by the way, I would only usually do this with a conversions campaign, right? Not like a traffic campaign or something like that. So we've got a lot of ad account data. B, you want whatever it is that you're advertising to have pretty broad appeal. Okay, so it doesn't want to be something that's really niche, that's only super specific to people who are like hobbyists in something, or only really specific to, let's say, business owners, something in the B2B space. Let's say you're going after like lawyers, for example. Those are not scenarios in which we would test super broad targeting. I would test these things where it's like we're advertising something to do with the home. If you're advertising, I don't know, windows or painting and decorating or flooring or boilers or kitchens or something like that, something to do with the home that just about everyone in the world in that country you're advertising to is going to be somewhat interested in it at least some point in their lifetime. You know, everyone's going to live in a home. Well, not everyone, unfortunately, but the vast majority of people are going to live in a home. They're going to want to replace things and fix things and all that sort of stuff. That's a classic example. Other examples will just be things that apply to everyone. So things like in the health and fitness space, where let's say you've got nutrition plans or workout series. I mean, not everyone, obviously, but just tons and tons of people are going to be potentially interested in that stuff. Again, at least some point in their life. So you want a lot of conversion data. You want something with really broad appeal. Not that something that's too niche is what we found works really well. And then thirdly, you also want to be operating on a pretty large budget. I don't think this is at all warranted if you're spending, let's say, less than $10,000 a month. Okay, I don't think you want to go super broad. You can test it by all means, you know, and I'm always such a big fan when anything Facebook advertising related of testing. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is you spend a bit of money on it. It doesn't really work. You pause it after a few days and that's not the end of the world by anyone's, measure. Okay. So I'm always happy for people to test this sort of stuff, but where I think it works is larger budgets. So I can think of an example of a company we ran exclusively in the end open targeting. We ended up pausing all our other targeting options that we were testing, lookalikes, all that sort of stuff, because the open targeting was consistently performing better. I think when we first started working with them, they were spending £60,000 a month. This is a company based in the UK, and they offer a product that's to do with the home. That's something that many people are interested in. Started with 60,000. I think we're now at £90,000 a month, something along those lines. And that's the sort of budget, you know, let's say $10,000 a month plus, that I would be starting to think about using this sort of targeting option. It's really beneficial in terms of, you know, you're not going to run into ad fatigue anytime soon. So you don't really have to worry about that. You're also, you know, you don't need to worry about having to change your audiences and test new targeting options. You can set up, if this works for you once you've tested it, you can very much focus on your super broad targeting as your targeting options, and then focus on other areas of your campaign to help improve performance. Things like your ad creative, which I'm always bleating on about, because ad creative is what separates the good campaigns from the great campaigns. Things about maybe your sales funnel, perhaps you could tweak the lead in offer and stuff like that. Okay, but by all means, give this a go. Give both options a go. If you're an international or national business and you're thinking, oh, I need to target audiences that are no more than, let's say, 5 million. Try some of the interests in your industry that are massive, that are going to give you 30 million in the audience, and also try an ad set with just open. Now, if we were advertising something to do with the home, I don't think we'd leave it as 18 plus. We might go to 25 plus or 30 plus, because, you know, not many 18-year-olds own a property. But so there might be some things we do in there to just narrow that down slightly. But by all means, you know, depending on your industry, give this a go. As I said, if you meet the criteria with the super broad targeting. And of course, let me know how it goes. I'd love to know how it goes when you give this a test. Put it in the comments below, and I'd like to get involved. Now, before you go, a couple of things I want to quickly mention I think you're going to find very interesting. The first is our Facebook Ads Mastermind group. So there's currently about 38,500 members in the group. Fantastic community full of Facebook advertisers looking to get better results with Facebook advertising. They're asking questions, getting them answered by other people. I do free live trainings in there every single week. So if that sounds like the sort of thing you want to be part of, we'd love to have you in our community. Go ahead and click on the link in the video description. It'll be down near the bottom. It's completely free to join. You can join, you can get involved. We'd love to have you. And have a lot of fun and help each other out there. And the other is our Facebook advertising services. So if you're spending more than £3,000 a month, or want to spend more than £3,000 a month on Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns, and that's the starting point at which we work with clients, then we'd love to have a conversation with you and find out more about what it is you're looking to achieve, and you can find out more about our services and how we can help. You know, if you're managing this yourself, and it's a very important part of your business, which I know that Facebook advertising is for a huge amount of people that consume my content, and you're at that budget level, then handing this over to a professional agency might be one of the best things you could do for the growth of your business. So if you are interested in our services, want to find out more, and you meet that spend criteria, the best thing to do is just book a free 30-minute strategy session with me. So you can do that. There'll be a link right at the bottom of the video description. You've got to scroll down, click on that. That'll take you to a page on my website where you can book a slot directly into my calendar. Now, I should say there's a lot of demand for our services. There's usually something like a week to 2 weeks delay to be able to speak with me. I'm working on bringing in more staff to help me get through these calls and things like that. But depending on when you're watching this, that is the time here involved. So just something to be aware of. Don't hold off if you're wanting to get work with us in a few weeks' time. But yeah, I'd love to have a chat with you. It's a completely no obligation call. You know, we just find out more information. I will fully tell you if I don't think that we're the right service provider for you. But hopefully we get a chance to work together. We can help get you great results, and we can establish a relationship and take your business to the next level, which is what my agency is all about. Right, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you haven't already, click that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel if you're new, comment below to let me know if you've got any questions about this. I think this is going to be quite an interesting topic for a lot of you. Comment below if you tried this and it worked for you. I'd love to know that. And yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Best of luck with everything, guys. Bye for now.